What's up, everybody? And we are here with our final playstyle breakdown. And it's been a good ride. I've learned a lot. I hope you have too, because these playstyles are a key part of your success or your struggles in eFootball. So, the whole point of this video series was to get you familiar with exactly what each playstyle does on the pitch, both defensively and offensively, and then you can choose what fits your play style best, or how you want to play, I should say. So, long ball counter, last but not least, it just happened to work out this way that this is the play style I am going with going forward. As I dove deep into these play styles, this has it all, right? So, first thing is the deep defensive line, which, if you heard me previously, I typically am a pressure-oriented player defensively, right? I don't believe in dropping back and inviting pressure, inviting the opponent into the danger areas. However, in eFootball, here's what I found. The best teams, and even some of the low-skill players with all the assistance they have, and now especially with Smart Assist, they just simply press the through ball button, and the AI does the rest of the work. Then with everyone using quick counter, especially in all the dangerous runs going forward with that, or even long ball counter, you can be in trouble when you have that pressure defense, right? And then, of course, a good player is going to be able to slice you up like Swiss cheese many times when you're leaving your position trying to pressure the ball. So, having a defensive line deep like it is in long ball counter, pretty much the deepest line you're going to have, players will retreat and you will have good numbers back defensively to then do your thing, win the ball back. And then, once you win the ball back, this is where I really like long ball counter, right? As soon as you win the ball, your players spread out if they're wide players and up if they're attacking players. So immediately your players utilize the full length and width of the field, and then it's up to you to just find the right passes. So it forces your opponent from being in the typically narrow formation that they're using with this meta, and it forces them to open up and cover you. Many times they're not going to be able to do so quick enough, and you will be able to get in on goal. And to maximize the amount of times you get in on goal, I strongly suggest you utilize a formation somewhat like this. Once again, the 4-2-1-3, which is the most used formation across all of the different playstyles, but for a good reason, right? You have solid cover defensively, 2 DMs. You can switch one to CM if you want. I use Pirlo as still a DM, but he is more of a deep line playmaker. And then you have 4 attackers that are always a threat, the 3 forwards, and then I go with 1 attacking midfielder. Now, obviously, you can tweak this according to how you want to. For instance, David Villa, he could easily be a secondary striker instead of a CF, and as a secondary striker, it would turn off his advanced striker playstyle, which means he would just move a little bit wider, is what I noticed, and come back just a little bit more. But you can also use him as CF, and he will just be pushed up a little bit more. Same with Cruyff. You can use him as an AMF, or he has a deep lying forward playstyle. You can also use him as a secondary striker. He'll just have that deep lying playmaker playstyle, which is pretty similar to attacking midfielder. I would say he just doesn't come back quite as much, but as a deep lying forward, he will still come back for the ball a bit. And in this playstyle, it's mainly making those forward spread out runs anyway. So, the very last thing to cover is wingers. You've probably been able to notice that with the meta right now, there's not much use of wingers, and if people do use typical wingers such as like a Messi, a Salah, a Vinny, someone like that, they'll pull them in as secondary strikers like I have Messi in my setup. But in long ball counter, you absolutely can utilize a left and a right winger. Just for me, with how my team's set up, I don't need to utilize them as wingers. They still, even as secondary strikers, will get out wide at times. And then, not to mention, I have an overlapping wingback on one side. So I get width in the attack from that, which is exactly why I have 1 attacking wingback. I think it is absolutely important. There are so many times where the attack is congested or kind of stuck in the mud, if you will. And then here comes Zanetti, who's my attacking wingback, looping around the outside, and we play to him and can get in line for a low cross or just a regular cross, or even just relieving the pressure. Then the opponent has to chase him out wide, and you can then play it back into the middle or kind of reset. He can cut back and reset the attack for you. So having that attacking wingback provide width is absolutely key. The only reason I don't do it on both sides is because if you lose the ball, it can be tough having just two center backs and then obviously your DM. So to keep the backline secure and still have that width in the attack, I have one attacking wingback, and then with Maldini being able to play center back, I actually push him a bit in, so I technically have three center backs, although Maldini still does his same wingback duties, right? But with all that being said, as a whole, I think long ball counter is by far the best playstyle. You can play some beautiful football. Your players spread out, give you a ton of different options. It makes the opponent's defense vulnerable. They have to spread out. And then defensively, even though, like I said, I typically like pressure defensive setups and even a higher line too. So defensively, all around, this typically isn't what I like. I can tell you, based on eFootball as a whole and how this playstyle sets up defensively, having those numbers immediately track back, having those players automatically start tracking back, you many times will snuff out chances that you otherwise wouldn't have, right? Say you pressure an opponent and they're just too quick for you, they pass, they slice you up, now you have a bunch of players out of position. Or your opponent has the ball, your players immediately go to pressure it, they play that one slicing through ball either with skill or with all the AI assistance, smart assist or whatever. Even a low skill player just simply wins the ball, presses triangle, and can get lucky, and that pressure defense can a lot of times hurt you in those scenarios. So that's everything you need to know about long ball counter. Let me know what you think. Do you utilize it? Will you utilize it? I can tell you that I like several playstyles, but for now, I am going to go with long ball counter as my main playstyle, and you will see how it goes. So, until next time, keep grinding, keep having fun, and I'll see you later. Peace.